Here's a slow idle. Kind of sounds like it's the oil pan. Okay, dead of winter. Looks like a great time to climb under the Jeep. So if anyone was watching the last video about the milestone update, you'll know that this Jeep had an engine noise. And as with all engine noises, the most common suspect will be the flex plate bolts or the flex plate being cracked. So today, figure, hey, let's make a video about it. Because anyone that goes on the internet and asks for help is going to get this answer a lot. So, especially for the newbies, let's learn about it. So first, let's see if we get the noise. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. I thought it was only when it was hot, but I don't know. If the starter cooperates, hold on. Oh yeah. So there's a little bit of a rattle, a little bit of a knock. Hopefully you can hear that over the exhaust. But yeah, it sounds like it's kind of coming from the back of the engine a little bit. So, anyway, I haven't noticed any power issues with this at all. Seems to still run fine. It'll still run like a champ. And the engine sort of, and the noise kind of goes away over 2,000, 2,500 RPM. So that may or may not be part of the cause. Now, I don't know if this noise is flex plate, but just to prove the internet right or wrong, we're going to find out today. So first off, what the heck is a flex plate? Or, better yet, what's the difference between a flex plate and a flywheel? Well, one's got wings and the other one works out. No, wait. So a flex plate is for automatic transmissions. The reason why it has the name flex in it is because the torque converter actually flexes the plate. So it will push on it and like kind of bend it one way or the other. Not a whole lot, you know, we're only talking a little bit, but that's the general idea, is the torque converter actually makes the thing bend. A flywheel, on the other hand, is only for manual transmissions because, I don't know, flying, free spinning, things like that. I guess when you disengage the clutch, it's free spinning or flying, so it's a flywheel. So anyway, I've got me one of them there slush box automatic transmissions, the glorious AW4 automatic 4-speed. So if we come underneath here, that being the front of the engine, we can see at the back our transmission, and if we keep going back, the transfer case. So the flex plate is located between the engine and transmission, and luckily for us, we actually have a nice little access cover to look under some things. So we will have an 18mm, an 18mm, I think a 13 or some stupid shit, and I think there's another little one there. I don't know if I can get to that with the exhaust. I might not need to. We can kind of just bend it out of the way. But anyway, we'll take some bolts off, and we'll take a look to appease the internet. So real quick, I went over what the heck a flex plate was, but we didn't go over why it makes noise. So, the flex plate will bolt to the torque converter with 4 bolts, and it's common for those to come loose. So what happens is they loosen up to the point that they can start hitting things, and that would be the noise that we continuously hear, is that it keeps smacking against something over and over again. So yeah, the factory service manual, the Haynes service manual that I have says that they're supposed to be torqued to about 40 foot-pounds. And yeah, if you have loose issues, you should probably use some blue Loctite just to keep them in place. So yeah, that's about our basic issue. Now, if the flex plate is cracked, well, that could be due in part to the fact that it does flex back and forth, and I guess over time they can get weak and crack. So yeah, that'll be 2 things we're looking for, is loose bolts and fractures. Okay. So, when you get far enough in your journey, if you could take that other bolt out, this entire cover just slides down. So you could take the whole thing off and get a good picture. I can't really get in there well enough, and for how quick I want to make this video, I don't care to strangle with it. So, in here is our flex plate, as you can see. You can see one of the culprit bolts right there. And those are the big baddies that everyone says is ruining your life and making all your wonderful engine noise. So we can see two of them right there. Definitely not separated. And if we look at the flex plate itself, I do not see any cracks. Anything bad like that. But that's only half the flex plate, so we got to rotate it to see the rest. So how do we do that? The big pry bar on the crank. This is going to be fun exercise. So 3/4 inch nut or a 19 millimeter, they're basically the same. Put a big ass pry bar on that, and you can turn the engine. And we'll look at the other sides of these things. Okay, so here we have our main crank pulley right here, a long breaker bar. I'm just using the 19 because I got the metric out. Now you should only turn this in the clockwise direction for safety. That way you're tightening the bolt, not loosening it, and you know, it's just the general way the engine rotates. So we'll take this and we will push, and we can slowly spin the engine. Doesn't matter if it's in park or what, because the transmission is technically engaged, but you will see that the engine rotates. So we'll take another peek. Okay, there's another bolt, still looking good. See the, you can't see the other one. There she is. So this is only like a 1/4 rotation, so that's the only new one there. But she's still on there fine. Again, I don't see any cracks up there. You want to look real close to the top, because that's where they commonly separate. You're looking with my eyeballs, I don't see anything. Because if you look at pictures online, you'll see that it's basically like an inner ring, right kind of near where the inner bolts are, that you can't see from this side, but it'll crack in a little ring. So rotate that one more 1/4 revolution, check that other bolt. Here we are, coming up on the last one. Sorry, Internet. Flex plate was not my issue. You will have to guess again. But at least now we know for certain. Time to roll those diagnostic dice one more time. See what else comes up. Let me guess. Next thing after flex plate bolts is probably CPS, right? We'll check that next. But anyway, that is the quick and dirty of how to make sure that your transmission isn't actually the cause of your engine noise. So, yeah. I didn't suspect my bolts because I put a stroker in about 12,000 miles ago, and I actually torqued the fucking bolts down. So, yeah, I wasn't too worried about that. So that means we're going to have to go inside the engine, see? My feeling is that the noise goes away with RPM. And what goes up with RPM? That's right, oil pressure. So I'm thinking it's probably a rod bearing, probably 6th or 5th piston. So it sounds like it is towards the back of the engine. So we'll have to pull the pan, pull the bearings, and see what's fucked up, what bounces around, what looks like shit. I've also seen oil leaks all over the place. What a pile of turd. But yeah, sorry I couldn't show you what backed up bolts look like, but, you know, it's just a bolt like that that's loose. They're not super long, you know, they're only like maybe barely a 1/2 inch long, but yeah, if you got loosey-goosey bolts, you want to tighten them, 40 foot-pounds, blue Loctite, you're golden. Okay, next. Alright, Internet, what do you think of it now?